if we look at communication like dimensions, text is 2D, vocals 3D, and then vocal and visual is gonna be whatever. Too many D's for Cupid, but you know what, God. You get me? There's only one D in Cupid, and that's in my name.
Okay. Oh, my dear future husband, wherefore art thou? Welcome to Dear Future Husband. I am Dinalva, the sweetest and spiciest damsel in distress in search of my knight in shining armor. And with the help of Cupid, we'll be delving into...
With a K.
Cupid with a K. We'll be delving into the realities of the fairy tale love, the birds and the bees, and hopefully manifest my Prince Charming. Oh, dear future husband, we are looking for you. Cupid! Cupid! Cupid!
Yo, what's good?
Hey, welcome, Cupid with a K. Cupid.
What's good? I'm in the building.
Cupid, did you know that you're the best?
I mean, I've been told, but yeah.
And
keep it a secret.
Of course, I will keep it a secret. And that's really what I want to talk about. Because remember, you told me last time that I should be minding my business and managing information. And that got me thinking and a bit scared because I'm a personality that is a bit bubbly, is a bit out there. I would say some call it extroverted, which means that I need to check my communication. I need to see, like, how do I navigate being a loudmouth, maybe?
Okay, so you're what's your personality type? How would you describe yourself? What's your actual personalities?
I would definitely say that I'm extroverted, so I'm outspoken. I am positive. I'm motivated. I work hard. I'm committed. I'm driven. So basically, I've got a lot of energy for go 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 go. I'm always on it. And
you ever been diagnosed with? Anyway, don't worry.
No, I have never been diagnosed. I think I'm just hyper and high on life.
Yeah, that's a good thing to be high on. Can't be high on the other side of it. So,
it is a good thing to be high on.
Okay, cool. So, I mean, what about what makes you angry? What about when you get angry? What's your anger like?
I would say my anger is a bit cold. A bit cold, yes.
What do you mean? Just elaborate. What do you mean cold?
Cold, I feel like if I'm angry, I don't really talk so much. And if I do talk, is with emotional detachment, meaning that I tend to be a bit logical about things and it can be a bit eerie.
What do you mean eerie? Like, what do you mean?
Eerie, because I will look at you and I'll explain very calmly, very composed, where you've effed up and made me very upset.
Okay.
But you won't know how I feel about it.
Well, would you be saying how you feel about it?
Yes, but I won't be showing it.
Why? Why are you doing that?
I think it's because sometimes emotional display can be a weakness that distracts people from understanding the substance of the problem.
Say nothing. You're a ticking time bomb.
Cupid! No! Cupid! Wait. But this is why I called you, because I was worried. Cupid, wait.
Listen, I summed it up. Passive aggressive. Definitely. You're trying to style it out. Passive aggressive. That's what you're saying. I don't know what took me so long to work it out. Passive aggressive. Ticking time bomb. One day, this... Okay, cool. Listen.
True.
Listen, I commend you for having a grip, so to speak, on emotional outbursts. Like, in terms... I commend you. However, do you find that it leaves you frustrated or not, or like needing an outlet for that kind of high octane emotional release?
Okay, so I'm glad that you said that, because that is only maybe in the first 3 times. So I think I'm the sort of person that can say things very like clearly as almost like a warning a few times, and then the next time I'm like, yo, listen. And then I think that's when there's a bit more emotion, but not necessarily an outburst. I think that emotional outbursts are a bit faux pas and off-brand.
Okay, off-brand, but I mean, do you ever get angry? Are you saying your anger is only in a cold, icy way? It's never shouting, screaming, like anger, like classical anger display?
To be honest, I think that I'm a reflector. So for me to be that angry, you will have done something very extreme. But it's extremely rare for me to get to that stage unless it's very, unhealthy. And I don't aim to be putting myself in situations that
Right.
could require that
So you're
anger.
gonna be in a relationship with a man that you love with 2 children, and you're never gonna get angry. I mean,
think-
that's lofty. That's a lofty ambition. You know what I mean? You did say you was ambitious. I
am
commend you.
ambitious.
I commend you.
That's a fair point. What would that feel like?
And I'm not here to say it's not possible,
Yes.
but I've spoken to a lot of husbands.
What did the
Funny enough.
husband say?
I think every woman has their moment, and depending on who the husband is how successful it is or how common it is or whatever. But I think with comfortability comes a certain dropping of guard. So if it takes effort to reserve yourself from if it's not just second nature, then there's going to be a time where your mask is going to slip. But if it is your second nature, then who's to say? Everyone reacts to things differently, and this could just be one of them. But I heard a saying the other day. It was funny. I'm gonna say it to you.
Yes.
I'm not sure if you're a bad girl pretending to be good, or a good girl pretending to be bad.
Cupid, I promise I'm a good girl trying to be bad. I'm a good girl trying to be bad. I'm really not that bad, Cupid. That's why I call you shamelessly, because I need you sometimes, because I'm a good girl that is navigating a very dark world. I don't even know how to express my anger healthily because I just don't know what is healthy anymore.
I mean, I don't think there's any I think as long as you do not let, especially within your relationship, if you don't let your anger, which I think is a natural thing to feel, if you don't let your anger fester, become bitter, become malicious, and if you don't express it in a way that's harmful to others, you never forfeit your respect and your dignity. If you can try to not do that, at least, there's going to be times where you probably deserve to be angry. Do you know what I mean? But, not saying things in anger is a art, and it's played down nowadays. People forget when you say things in anger, a lot of the words that you say and your actions can't be taken back. Do you know what I mean? And even when you regret and you wish there's nothing you can do. So it is good to be mindful. You being icy cold may even help you take that heartbeat to think before you say something that you can't take back or do something you can't take back. But anger is natural, and I think in society we got to learn to deal with conflict, deal with high octane emotions, and it's about learning how to regulate that, deal with that, and even normalize it. Because right now we're moving into a period where it's like you're not ever allowed to express anger. And, as a wife and as a mother, if something happens to your husband or an injustice, as we spoke about in an earlier episode, to your spouse or your children, it'd be natural for you as the mother or wife to display a level of anger. So we can't ever forget that humans are allowed to be angry. And anger is natural. Do you know what I mean? But it's how you navigate it. Do you know what I mean?
You're leaving me with some super sauce today. Never forfeit your respect and dignity.
Never.
I like that one, Cupid.
Say forfeit.
Forfeit.
Oh, yeah, because you said forfeit. Cupid don't like grammatical.
Cupid, I'm foreign, okay?
Okay, yeah, but I don't like stuff like that, especially like in texting. Speaking about texting, let me ask you, communication-wise, if you are angry at somebody, how would you prefer it expressed? In text, via phone call, or in person, face-to-face?
If I'm angry with somebody, do I text, call, or face-to-face? I would definitely say texting is easier because usually you text and you read again to make sure. Then a phone call to test the waters, and then in person to solidify everything.
So you want the free stage one. I'm answering which is your preferred one.
Texting.
Ooh. Okay.
Is that bad?
I think that's interesting because I think it's well known that a lot of misinterpretation can happen via text for some reason, especially a text sent in anger. An angry text is like textbook of what I was talking about in terms of your words being words that can't be taken back. I mean, I know you can unsend certain messages sometimes, but sometimes it don't work. We've all unsent a message, you get me? Hope they didn't see it.
It might be too late.
It might be too late, yeah. At least on WhatsApp, you see the little message deleted. Yeah. Usually responded with a question mark, like, what was that? What was that? Yeah, what you gonna say? Yeah, but honestly speaking, I think text is dangerous. Like, it is dangerous because it can lead to misinterpretation, and people have a text voice in their head when they're reading a message from someone in a certain scenario.
So you're giving the other person.
Yeah, I'm now flavouring it with my seasoning.
You this, you that, and in my head saying, actually, babe, I feel this way.
Yeah. I'm putting my own jerk and my own masala on it,
Turn into a whole different
that may not have even been there. So
true.
I would say it's risky.
So what would you say is the best way to approach anger? In person, calling, or texting? Because remember, I'm a bit avoidant with emotions. So what advice do you have to give me?
Honestly speaking, if you're not in that person's presence, then you're probably in the best situation. You're in a situation where you can sit with your own emotion and reflect and assess and take a breath. Often when you rush, I'm angry and I'm going to go to see him or go to see her. And then you're still gonna,
Yes.
The best solution to anger is I would say patience.
Patience.
What
about a phone call? Is that a good compromise?
You can phone someone in. How many times have you phoned someone in anger and it's gone good?
Okay, so in anger is basically patience. No calling, no texting, no nothing. Patience. And he knows, dear future husband, I'm talking rubbish.
Yeah,
I'll probably
he always kicks up when
dear future husband, relax. I promise you, I'll be patient.
Yeah,
I promise, Cupid. I promise. I'm listening.
So yeah, I mean, I would say that's a trick question, and there was no good time to really. There's no good option to do in anger. If you have an option, that means that you're not in them scenarios. So you don't have to text, you don't have to call, and you don't have to go and see them face to face. You can actually take time out. Because what good comes out of approaching someone angrily in any format? So I don't think there's any good format to use. Do you know what I mean?
I understand that.
If you're angry, Yes,
that makes sense, Cupid. You're making so much sense. This is why I always have to summon you. This is why you're always needed.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so would you rather deliver bad news to somebody via text, calling, or in person? And I'm talking seriously bad news.
Oh, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, Cupid. I'm not going to lie. I really do. I think that bad news are just like, you don't want to be that person. However, I do think that for me, bad news is best delivered in person. I know that for me, it takes me a moment to have to gulp and then say, okay, this is how it is. But I hate to be a bearer of bad news, but I think in person is the one.
You'd rather give the bad news in person. Oh, you're brave. You're brave. I feel like it's the reverse of that one. That one, I'd rather text you. That one. Hey, sorry, my brother.
I'm sorry, my brother.
Sorry, my brother. Papa, don't pass. My prayers are with the family, man. You get me?
Okay, Cupid. So, what do you think about bad news in person? Why would you rather do text? Should I do text? Should I consider text? What's the benefits? And why not call?
I don't know, man. Nah, I'm joking, but obviously the joke really signifies the difficulty level of each of them. And if you're actually delivering truly bad news to somebody, knowing that, their reaction, they're gonna be down, heartbroken, whatever. Yeah, it's a lot to deal with. And people in that scenario will tell you how difficult it is to, go and tell someone, knock on someone's door and tell them, yo, whatever the bad news is. So, I can understand why people would want to avoid doing that face to face. Do you know what I mean?
Avoidance is not good, is good in anger, and avoidance is good in bad news.
I'm not saying it's good, but it's more understandable. And yeah, I understand it.
Okay, so bad news is to be taken with bravery. Anger is to be taken with patience. Yes, Cupid, I like this recipe for communication.
And what about apologies?
What, for me to give them or for me to receive them?
Pause.
Cupid with a K, you've taught me this pause joke too much. Yes.
What would you rather? You pick one.
Okay. For me to receive apologies, I would prefer in person for sure.
Mm.
And to give apologies in person too. I think that doing it by text or doing it by phone is displaying a level of avoidance, which means that your intentions in your apology may be diluted by the fact that you're not even doing it face to face.
But if you usually communicate through phone when you're not around each other, say you and your future husband,
Yes, sir.
and then he decides to depart from the scenario,
Yes.
you've done wrong, you want to apologize,
Yes.
you're not going to see him for a day because he's gone about his business and he won't be back for a day, or you won't see him for a day. Do you leave it and wait for him to come back, or do you message him while he's gone and do like a pre-apology?
A pre-apology is always needed because I think that's when you can show immediate regret. You know, I understood very quickly that I did something wrong. And even if we were not ready to talk about it right now, you know that I already feel bad.
Yeah.
So you already know that there's going to be a resolution at the end of all of it.
He's going to get some. I hear you.
Hey, relax and relax. So apologies. How should we do this? Apologies should be taken with you should get some.
I mean, you know, it's always nice when an apology is sincere, and however it's delivered. If you can send a text and you send a text, there's grades. I think personally, there's grades. If I get an apology text, it's like, yeah, man text me and said sorry. Still, get me cool. If I get an apology phone call, I think that means more because we're speaking.
Yes.
We can converse, and I can hear your tone. I can now hear sincerity, conviction, and whatnot, right? And your sentiment. I can garner your sentiment from your tone. And you know, there's more information there for me.
Yeah.
So it's a deeper form of communication. If we look at communication like dimensions, text is 2D, vocals 3D, and then vocal and visual is gonna be whatever. Too many D's for Kupid, but you know what I've got. You get me?
How can you say too many D's for Kupid?
Yeah. There's only one D in Kupid, and that's in my name.
Okay. Well, speaking of inappropriate conversations, is it okay to sext? Or is that a bit awkward?
I ain't even got a phone. I don't even exist. So I don't know. That's up to you lot. But I think there's no problem with sending a good little racy message or whatever. If that's what you lot are going to do. Like, it can be awkward for some people. I don't know. It's to each their own, I would say. To each their own. What do you think about it, though?
I think a little text sometimes can be a very discreet way of silently getting into somebody's mind, where you can just be sitting down and just get a notification, something. It's quite fun, but it has to be done strategically at the right times when it's actually needed.
Yeah.
You know, just natural.
Yeah.
Sometimes cheeky.
Sometimes cheeky. Okay.
On the phone, I think only if there's distance. I feel like talking too much about it may just kind of cloud things.
Yeah, too much chatting.
Yeah, too much chatting about And then in person is free reign for everybody.
I personally think that couples are in too much communication nowadays.
Ooh.
I think people have become too accessible throughout the whole day, and the expectation of a certain level of communication to be maintained has become a new part of being in a relationship. And now all of a sudden you have sisters that are like, oh, if he doesn't text back between da-da-da, or if he hasn't texted you within da-da-da, he doesn't like, and da-da-da, and now there's a whole new rule book.
Yes, for communication.
For communications and relationships based on this new thing of being able to contact someone and see their face any time of day, anywhere in the world. And I think that's kind of meant that people have become, they've spoken too much.
Yes.
You lot chat too much. So now there's nothing to really chat about anymore. You lot have said everything that needs to be said to each other. You've rinsed it out. I've been with you all day. I've left. As soon as I've left, you've been texting me. Wherever I am, I'm texting you. We all got a friend that, oh yeah, sorry, yeah, and you're thinking, no, you just left your girl's yard and that's your girl on the phone. What possibly could she be wanting to speak to you about? You know? So that's just personally some of the humans that I've observed. You know?
Yes.
You know, everyone's different, but I think nowadays too much talking, just like too many cooks, can spoil the broth.
Ooh, Cupid. Don't spoil the broth. That's how we're going to take
You chat so much on the phone, you
arousal.
text so much throughout the day. That whole "honey, how was your day" thing has kind of gone out the window a little bit.
The excitement
Yeah,
to
because
see
it's
each
like
other.
we're eating, honey, how was your day? Or how's your week been? Because sometimes you don't see each other every day.
That's
And
true.
space is something very important. And I think people, as well as in communication, I think being able to be silent, being able to not speak, yeah, having a more longer term conversation with someone, which entails life and interchanging of it's like a conversation that spans days and weeks and months and years. When you look back, you see that conversation in how you and your partner interact. It's not always about the daily chatting
Yes.
and the and
It creates space so that you can always have something to talk about, so
yeah.
that you always have the excitement and that spark.
And I guess what I'm saying is we need to focus more on body language and non-verbal communication, because we're talking a lot about talking. And I'm saying sometimes the key to having a good partner is being with someone that you don't have to talk to all the damn time and that you're not always talking to. So you can be in the room, whatever, even for a day, half a day, whatever. You don't have to be chatting each other's ears off constantly. Space is important for longevity, in Cupid's opinion, with a K.
Ooh. Yes, I like that. Space is vital for longevity. Anyway, yeah, space is vital for longevity in a relationship. Cupid said so.
Yeah.
I must listen.
Yeah. You got a problem with that?
No, I don't have a problem with that. Thank you,
Are you
Cupid.
sure?
I'm sure. I understand what you mean. Just give it space. Communication is, you need to appreciate the silence sometimes.
This is again testament to the high maintenance society that we live in, where everyone is overstimulated and has a desire to be stimulated all the time. And I think overstimulation denies us serenity and peace and tranquility. And that's exactly what I'm gonna have when I leave you. Thank you very much.
Bye, Cupid. Bye. Cupid never fails to give me the sauce. So, with communication, appreciate the silence, baby. Don't text, call all the time. Push sometimes, okay? Everything with a pinch of salt. Anger with patience. Bad news with a lot of bravery and apologies. You should get some. Okay, so make sure that you drop a little like and leave a comment on how you approach communication in your relationship. Give me some of the sauce too. I'm sure Cupid could maybe get some help sometimes. And don't forget to stay tuned, because next week we're going to be talking about family and childhood and what it all means, and discover some traumas and all the things that are so important for relationships. Don't forget to share the love and subscribe. Let's find your future husband together.